right.
He rode a
Blazing saddle.
So,
Oh
so,
yeah, we
so,
can't sing any more words. Can't
so
sing any
yeah.
more
Before we
words.
go live, you're like, yeah, we can't do anything from Blazing Saddle, and then immediately, as soon as we're live, the two of you start up with Blazing Saddles.
But Hagar was going to just recant a beautiful, touching time that he met. Is it Bert?
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about Hagar touching himself.
Oh no, I don't. I don't either.
All right. So, who wants to give us a recap of what happened last time? Also, who's going to play Stokel this week? Not Chris Head, because
I
I
No.
think Hagar should play a second character for once.
I don't. I just don't trust Chris Head with a bard.
And I will do my
now that he's
best
got
to do the
work out,
recap.
He's bad
Wow,
enough
okay.
with a sorcerer.
Yeah, that's so true.
All right, hang on here. We will give Hagar access to Cole.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Or not. We don't have to. That's okay. I'll play him. It's fine.
I mean, I will. I'll attempt to. I just don't know any of the spells.
Oh, he didn't even level up. Not only does he call in and say, "Oh, I can't make this week," he doesn't even bother to level up. Well, that's fine.
That's very unlike Stokel.
He didn't get to level up this
Leatherbottom.
week. He's gonna roll around at level 15.
He'll have his new stuff next week.
All right, I'll do him. I'm not gonna roleplay for him, but I'll do him in combat and whatever.
Ooh, that'll be Christmas Eve.
We're not playing
Yeah,
Christmas Eve.
we won't play the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, we won't play
Oh.
Christmas Eve.
The next will be New Year's Eve.
Oh.
Oh
okay.
yeah, and I'll be working. Yeah.
People will be trying to kiss their lovers, and we'll be like, "But my armor class is 17."
Wow.
Which I would have loved to have done. But I'll be working on New Year's Eve, unfortunately.
Find the
That's
woman
live at the casino business.
you can
Yeah,
talk
go ahead.
to about armor class.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes, for sure.
All right. So yeah, who wants to give the recap? First of all, we're gonna take these bears off.
The bears are dead.
No,
Are you doing it, Christopher, or do you want me to
Yeah,
do
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Somebody do it.
I'm gonna do it.
All right.
Yes, exactly. So, while Soren was examining his belly button lint, Loomis and Cole had seen this giant dragon ravaging the city, and Torka, was next to notice, and then Cole, I think, or was it Torka that said, "Hey, isn't that your dad?" And Soren goes, "What?" And he goes looking out the window, and to his horror, he sees his father torching at least a block, and then flies off. Uh, and then our heroes rush down to go. Oh, wait a minute! First, our heroes uh, make some plans about trying to put out the flames, and Soren uh, takes his extends his wings and flies to the fire to start putting it out, while the rest of the guys run down the stairs to go and put together fire brigades, and we takes us about an hour to put out the flames. Then let's see, we I think we're about to go in. We go back uh, uh, into the university when I think some folks start getting a little upset, saying, "Well, that was his father," and
No.
no, it was at the end. Okay, gotcha. All right, before that, that's when this giant hero's bane comes lumbering in, and
A giant,
and
a
From the
giant,
ground.
guided by the voice.
From under the
What's that?
ground.
A giant
From
made of
under the ground.
shadows.
Sorry. Oh yeah. Yeah. Giant made of shadow comes erupting from under the underground, uh, and and is ordered by this voice that we can't see, which is uh, uh, shoot.
Galdor.
Uh, Shaldor, thank you.
The mix.
Shaldor ordering. I couldn't remember if it was Shaldor or if it was the voice
It was kind of a
of my
mix of
father.
your father and Shaldor, I think.
There we go. Gotcha. And then Glimmermaw. There we go. That was the name I was trying to remember. Glimmermaw, but it was a mixture of the two voices, and and this giant thing of shadow starts attacking us, and is beating the crud out of us pretty nicely. It could see through my greater invisibility, and we were able to bring it low where it uh, uh, dissolved into this puddle of mass that's before us. Let's
And
see.
as you've
Uh,
been standing
yeah.
here, the shadow goo has kind of slipped through the cracks of the pavement here in the city square, and sort of seep back into the earth.
Ah. Uh, then the folks were uh, getting a little irate about Soren, and before things could get out of hand, uh, Torka was able to quell the crowd, and let's see,
Yeah,
and
I did the whole. He's a
lastly,
great guy.
exactly, and everybody went, oh yeah, yeah, and then they were going, yes, and they're the heroes of Crossington,
And
uh,
Torka was like,
and
"No, no,
all
this is a good man. He would never kill one of his friends."
never did, and so and then the crowd started, uh, remembering all of our great feats, and then added a few that weren't true, and so we're bigger than life, and uh, one of the I think one of the mages had come to us and said, why would my father attack? And we described what Shaldor's influence appears, and they agreed and realized that Shaldor had taken over the form of Glimmermaw, and I think that's where we
He has
left
not
off.
taken over the form of
No,
Glimmermaw.
no, no,
Glimmermaw was your
take it
brother.
over Glimmermaw. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh
Glimmermaw's
yeah,
your brother.
Glimmermaw was your brother. This dragon is far, far larger than your brother.
yes, right.
This your papa.
It's yeah, exactly. Um, so so yes, it's my father, and we were able to explain the situation, and so now they know that a ancient golden dragon is under the influence of a vile demon, and
Of
so
crack cocaine.
which doesn't really make it that nobody really feels really great about. It's there we are.
Just because it'll be fun to mention this. Who wants to guess how much damage a an ancient gold dragon's fire breath does?
150 to 250.
13d10. So
So
that's an average.
130.
That's an
That's
average.
an average of 65.
That's an average of 71. In
I was
here,
close.
per the rules, it would be an average of 71 with a DC 24 dexterity saving throw to take half damage.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's a really badass leap out of the way.
Yeah. That's Jackie Chan level crap.
$6 million man.
Chain level crap. Tick, 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 tick.
So, as you guys are getting your bearings back, people are, things are getting back to normal here in the city square. People are helping one another. making sure everybody's okay, helping pick up cards that
Sharing is caring.
helping cards that may have fallen over, that sort of thing. Just a lot of good neighboring. And Professor Hovenwaltz comes back out of the college. As you remember, right at the start of the fight, he said he was going to run in and notify the headquarters of the Order Arcanum, uh, which of course is in Dawnhold and led by Jerisa Spellsong. He was going to let her know what was going on so she could have the Silver Shield alerted and have them send out reinforcements, which now they won't need. But yeah, the gnome hobbles his way back down to the steps and comes over to you. And he steps over to you, Torka, and you, Soren, and he goes, "Oh heavens, what did I miss? What happened? It looked like the damage was minimal."
Well, it seems we had a basically a demon that rolled in here.
Made of shadow. He was 30 foot tall. He erupted from the ground.
You just missed
Yes.
his black goo.
Well, I alerted the Order Arcanum, and they informed me that we weren't the only ones that were attacked just now.
Do tell.
Well, it seems that the Gold Dragon also flew over Limetown and burned down a exotic bookstore or a rare bookstore.
I look over at Stokel. From
Yep.
behind my goggles, he can't really see my
Yeah.
Spock-looking eyebrow raise up.
It's
I know
Stokel.
you're not. I
It's
know you're not role playing him.
It's yeah. Well, I mean, it's Stokel. Stokel would probably be so non-committal anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I ever throw out stuff like that, he's like, "Yeah, whatever."
I'm gonna be like, it seems this dragon is targeting some of your love interests, Stokel.
What do you
At
mean?
least when you were a kitty cat. Well, he took out
You mean
the pretentious coffee
demon?
shop here and the magic store here. Oh yes, I'm sorry, Soren. Yes, the demon.
Who did
Yes.
we know in the coffee shop?
No one, but the magic store we did. I would guess that maybe the coffee shop was a uh, just innocent bystander in the flames. I mean, the magic shop here, the bookstore there. I don't believe in coincidences.
So Professor Hovenwaltz looks back over at you, Soren and Torka, and says, "You boys mentioned something to me about helping you with something regarding your weapons."
Yes.
Yes.
We have this Mithra stone. We are wanting to see if it can be smithed onto uh, Loomis and Torka's weapons.
And
And
his eyes get very
produced some.
large, and he's like,
Yes.
"Mithra stone?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, dearie, who's carrying that?"
I am. Yes.
Well, show it to me.
Out here on the
I show.
streets?
Yes, it's fine. Most of these people wouldn't know a Mithra stone if it fell from space and hit them.
I show him the small chunk that I have on me.
So he looks at that and says, "Oh, keep that away from me. I don't want to be sterile." Okay. And then he kind of looks over, between you guys. It was like, "You haven't handled this a lot, have you?"
Well, we have it on us.
Oh,
The last
oh,
week,
oh
maybe?
dear. Oh goodness. Well, yeah. Try to keep it wrapped up. Try not to make as much,
Well,
a lot of skin contact with it, or in your case, Soren, scale contact.
ah, good to
Our
know.
brother here,
Uh,
Soren, wants to make an armored cod piece with it, Professor.
no, I do not.
Where could
But
we go to get such smithery done?
we need to have it affixed to your weapons. Where can we have that done?
Well, with the Mithra stone, it would require a special forge, what we call arcane forges.
Yes.
We do have one in town. That's the good news.
And the bad news, Professor?
The bad news is that we don't have the element to power the arcane forge. It burned out years ago, and we've not had the call to use it for anything recently.
And who's the smithy that runs that forge?
Oh, the smithy is a kindly dwarf named Clovis, older dwarf, but yeah, he wouldn't have that either. That we used to get those element stones from a mage who had a tower out east of here.
What say you? What is that element stone?
Yes, sort of like a power element, a crystal.
Well, how do we? We can probably go fetch some if you can tell us where to get it.
Well, we may want to talk to the smithy first and see if he's even able to smith what we want smithed. Cod pieces for the draconian are
Well,
not easy to do.
well, the professor, has said that he can do this. I trust him on that.
So
Uh,
the professor says, "Well, we can ask him. We can ask him ourselves. He's right over there. Hey, Clovis!" And this blonde dwarf looks over. Yes, Professor. What is it? What is it I can do for you? Did you need some leather goods or something made of metal? Do you need new nails? And Professor
we
Hovenwaltz just sort of shakes his head and points at Soren. Well, go on, lad. Tell
yes.
him.
We need to be able to find this how to power your forge. We need to know how to find this element stone, so we can power it. If you can,
Wait, Soren. First of
what?
all, let's make sure our good smithy friend here is willing to help us. Just because we bring the elements to him doesn't mean he has any interest in helping us. He doesn't
Well,
even
I
know
think
what
we.
he's working with.
Well,
Yeah.
it's Soren Lawrenson. Is that correct? That's your name?
Yes, yes.
I've heard tale. He just sort of narrates how things he wants to go.
Well, so we have this, and I produce the Mithra stone, and
Loomis,
we need to try to have it affixed to Loomis and Torca's weapons. But we
this
understand your
axe.
forge is down. Yes. Oh,
Well,
there you go.
let Loomis talk. Go ahead, Loomis.
Yeah.
Clovis, we need to affix Mither stone to this great axe right here.
Yeah. Once we
And
go ahead.
the turtle guy, his pike.
And yeah, so the dwarf Clovis looks over at you, Torka, looking for a pole arm, because that's what a pike is. He
Yep.
doesn't. He
And I
doesn't
just
see
kind of
one.
shake my head and just swing my war pick around a little bit, just so that he understands uh, how much of a bad son of a bitch I am.
Give me a performance check with advantage.
Uh, not
Oh
very
my!
good.
Oh my God!
I drop in the dirt, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. You try to look like a bad son of a bitch, but you drop your war pick and just come like 6 inches away from impaling your foot.
He's a little fatigued after the fight.
Oh,
I'm
I can
afraid.
imagine so. I can imagine so. Well,
Hey, you saw that big monster, right?
yes, I was
Bloop.
standing just right over there.
I am the one that ended that fight, so I am a little tired.
Well, I can imagine so. But to answer your question, that you ostensibly came all the way out here for, yes, I can. Once the arcane forge is lit, I can and would be able to affix the Mithra stone, or at least the active parts of the Mithra stone, to your weapons.
And you would be willing to do that for us?
I would be. And since you did the city a service, I would be willing to do it free of charge. Now, the materials, it's not just, you understand, it's not just the Mithra stone itself. There's also things that I'll have to use to affix and permanently put the Mithra stone onto your weapons. Um, almost, well, I don't want to confuse you with metallurgy, but in a way, almost think of it as like gluing something down. It's not what I'm doing, but the principle is the same.
Mm.
Well, let's find a place and enjoy an ale. Let's speak of the things you need, and then we will do our best to go get them.
All right. So you guys walk over to that inn that you normally stay in, the one that has all the ham,
Ah,
and it's got that innkeeper with his two daughters, and yeah, they're all happy to see you. What was that guy's name? Durbin. Hang on here. What was his name? Dougal.
oh yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So hang on here. We'll even switch over there. Let me get our friend. I'm gonna drag Professor Hovenwaltz over there too.
Cool.
All right. And I forgot what the name of this place is, and I know none of y'all know. So we'll just pretend you know the name of the place, and you walk in, you see Dougal. Oh, hello, good sirs. Good to see you again.
Hey, hello,
Ah,
hello. Thank you.
Dougal.
Good to see you all doing well.
God, it was like the
Mermaid's Tavern?
something. Yeah, maybe
That's what I wrote in my notes.
What?
it might
Mermaid's
be.
Tavern?
I couldn't hear any of that. What'd
Oh,
you say?
sorry. The Mermaid's Tavern?
No, the Mermaid's Tavern was in Donhold. That's where you guys went and met the other dwarf and the halfling girl, and
Is this
um,
something about a ram? The
maybe,
Rams?
maybe. In the end, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
It
Let's
does.
keep
It
role
doesn't
playing,
matter.
playa.
So yeah, Dougal's like, well, what can we do you for?
Uh, I
We
understand it.
we could use a nice meal, a few ales, and a quiet place to speak. We've got heroing to do.
Ah, say no more, sir. Say no more. And he kind of nods and winks at you, and he points to a table in the back corner that's kind of further away and kind of off from everything else. He's like, please
I
make your
proceed.
way to the back. I'll bring out some ales and a charcuterie and a plate of bones.
Ah, you know me well.
And he smiles and points, and he heads to the back. So you
Uh,
guys sit down. Go ahead, Soren.
oh yes. Please tell us what we need to get and where we can try to get the items that you need.
So what you're looking for is a crystal. This
Hmm.
crystal will be able to power the arcane forge that the mages need sometimes for their work. We've not needed it in some time, and the previous element was used up. It's going to be a pinkish crystal with veins of blue in it.
Mm. And where can we acquire this?
Well, we used to get it from an old wizard lived out to the east. His name escapes me. It's been so long since we've had to do anything like this. And then Professor Hovenwaltz speaks up and says, "No, his name was Gavin Thumbermill,
Gavin
Gavin
Thumbermill.
because
Thumbermill.
that's all I can do
Got it.
on short
And
notice."
uh, where should we seek him out, or do you know where he was able to acquire the stone?
I don't know how he acquired the stone. I think he had constructs that mined it for him. He was doing his own
Mm.
research with this particular type of stone. He had a tower about 7 miles to the east
Uh,
through the
that wouldn't have
forest.
been Rowville Tower, would it?
Oh no, Rowville Tower is very far, many miles away up to the northeast. And he
Okay.
looks around like in his pouches and then pulls out a map of the region that you've actually seen many times. Let me
Hmm.
look here. So he points out on the map that there is a tower about 7 miles east of town, and it's not the tower here on the map. The tower here on the map is meant to represent the Arcadium or
Yeah.
the college. So he's talking about this direction, and he pinpoints it on the map for you.
Ah.
Well, is he a friendly
Cool.
fellow? Should we tell him you sent us? Or, just wondering what we should expect.
Well, I'm sure you guys paid him handsomely for these pink veiny crystals.
The way you
I,
say it,
w-
it's so unwholesome.
I would think that he would take our gold just as he took yours. Especially if we told him we were looking to relight the forge.
And Clovis strokes his blonde chin whiskers for a moment and says, "Well, he's a bit of an odd duck, sort of eccentric. And he looks over at Soren. I don't know if you've dealt much with those sorts before."
Hmm.
Which is, me being funny because Soren is very eccentric.
Few odd folks, definitely. uh, but
Uh,
we'll go ahead.
can I ask why you stopped trading with him and why you allowed the forges to go out?
Well, we didn't need to use the forge for anything for a very long time. There was a project that was being worked on by some of the scholarly teachers and some of the upper level students, but that research was completed, and so they didn't need the arcane forge anymore, and so, well, there's no sense. You don't keep a forge going all the time.
I understand. I understand.
Otherwise, we'd have had to just been having that stuff in a giant stockpile, shoveling shoveling it into the furnace for no reason other than to keep it active.
I understand. So, other than these veiny crystals, do we need other elements, other
No,
materials?
all you would need is enough Mithra stone to modify the weapons with. Once we had that, now that in and of itself is very hard to get. But I was assuming you had it with you since you were asking for it.
We have we have some, yes.
We do?
How much do you have?
I believe we have enough.
And he kind of looks at you, Torka, almost as if he's waiting to see like the chunks that you have, like the samples that
I
you
go
have.
ahead and pull out my chunk.
Yeah, I pull
You
out
guys want
mine
to pull out
too.
your chunks?
Okay.
Hmm Mine just says one small chunk of mithril stone. I don't know if that fits in my hand or.
All right. So you pull out the chunks, and he looks at them, and he says, "Well, yeah, I reckon that'll probably be enough. I won't ask what you need weapons modified with mithril for. I'm sure you've got good reason for it. But
Uh,
yeah, it's got to have that. We've got to have that arcane forge up. It's the only thing that can melt that stuff down, so I can pour it onto your weapons and start beating it into place.
ah,
A normal
that
fire
sounds
won't
good.
do anything to mithril.
Well, we best. What time of day is it?
It's because you see the mithril has to deal with demons and such, and those things are resistant to fire.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
we
So
have
we gotta
some.
kill a demon.
We have some knowledge of that.
So you've got to have something that burns even worse than fire. And the only thing to do that is to get the arcane forge going.
Fair enough.
Let's
Shall
do
we
it.
stay here for the night and set out first thing?
That's probably a good idea because some of you might have gotten walloped pretty good during that fight, and that is true. Looking back at y'all's stats, well,
I kind of did the whole Warcraft thing, where since I leveled, I just went back up to full health. But
wow,
Yeah, I
that
kind of did that too.
yeah, that's not how that works, fellas.
I know, I get it. I'm sorry. Bam. Um.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll just sit underneath this tree for a half hour, Trey, and we'll be fine. Well, we've got some stat food. We're good. Oh, is that how that
Um.
goes? Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah. All right. So
So we should spend the night here, and Um. I'm going to ask. Uh. Dougal if he can maybe arrange. Horses. Or a cart. Early in the morning, so that we can maybe make haste. Uh. To Gavin Thumbermill's tower.
Dougal comes back with your ales and the charcuterie, which has it's like you went to the smoked sausage shop there in the mall around the holidays.
Uh,
Oh,
What was that place called back in the day?
Hickory Farms.
Yes, Hickory Farms.
yes.
It's like you went to Hickory Farms and you just bought a shitload of sausage and cheese.
Hmm.
And he also when his youngest daughter brings out a plate of bones for you, Torka.
I tip her an extra silver piece under the table.
She looks like she just hit the lottery. She's like, oh. And then Dougal looks at you, Torka, and says, "Will there be anything else, kind sirs?"
No,
Tor-
just our room.
Torka, you literally listed off a whole bunch of shit you wanted to ask him.
Oh, I thought I already did. I'm sorry.
No.
Uh,
This is a chance to role play that out.
we'd like a room for the night, and we need to try and make haste in the morning, and head east. Should just be a trip that'll take a day or so. Is there anyone that could rent us horses or take us in a cart?
There is a stable here in town that can provide you a horse and cart if you need it. I can't speak up for him though. You'll have to speak with him directly. But he's on the eastern end of town as you head out of town. So if you head east in the morning, you'll be able to see him. His name is Farnsworth.
Farnsworth.
You can't miss it. It's literally Farnsworth's stable and livery.
I'm sure we'll smell it as we approach.
Most likely, yes. You'll probably step in something too if you're not careful.
Well, give us 2 rooms if you would, good sir. Uh, and
We have 4 rooms.
oh, okay.
I mean,
Give
if
us
you
four
want to
rooms.
double up, I'm not going to.
Nope. Give
It
us 4 rooms, but hold them.
it is
Hold.
whatever. It's
I'll pay for them
it's the
and hold.
1350s. I'm not going to judge.
It's TNT 5.5. I won't judge. Um, hold them for us while we're gone, and we will pay for them for up to a week.
Very good, very good. I will make it so. It's nothing luxurious or fancy, mind you. They're just your standard fare, but the beds are comfortable and the rooms are clean. It would be 1 gold piece per day, so for a week that would be 7 per room would be 28 gold.
I'll hand it over because I want to make sure we got a place to come back to in case if we need to leave anything here or.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you hand him over 28 gold, and he says, "All right, thank you very much. My daughters will have the rooms prepared. They will be ready within the hour."
I hand him actually 30 gold.
Very good. Yeah. And he says, "Thank you for the tip, sir." A
I
gentleman and
nod.
a scholar, Torca Gallo. And he points at you and nods and winks.
Okay.
And
What time
then,
of night is this?
it is actually it's probably early evening by now.
Okay.
I would say it's probably like 4 p.m., 5 p.m., somewhere around there. So he heads off. You hear him yelling out instructions to his daughters, who then run upstairs to prepare the rooms. And Clovis gets up and says, "Well, I've got business of my own to tend to. I provide Farnsworth with nails for his farrier work."
Hmm.
And he kind of looks around and goes, "That means horseshoes and
I'm chewing on bones.
hoof repair." Very well.
Well,
My forge is just one block west of the college. So when you've come back, just head on over, and we'll get that arcane forge lit up for you.
fair enough.
We
Thank you,
will.
sir.
All right. So he departs, and Professor Hovenwald says, "Well, I need to get back to the college, make sure everything's okay with the students, make sure nobody was injured or displaced from earlier. Um, Good luck. Tell old Gavin I said hello. We used to know one another back in the day. Used to run together as lads.
Ah, sounds good.
All right.
Nice.
Take care then."
We will see you soon.
And he departs as well. Um, Takes probably about half an hour, but it gives you enough time to eat. And then
Mm.
Dougal's daughters run downstairs and tell you that your rooms are ready and that they're at the top of the stairs. The two on the left and two on the right. And then the youngest one looks over at Loomis and Torque and says, "Unless you want to double up, not that there's anything wrong with that."
Oh Lord.
And then they run off to get to their other duties. Everyone say hello to Stokes. He's in chat. He's watching us sneaky, but I see him in chat.
Hello,
Hello,
Stokes.
Stokes. Hey, little shout out.
Uh,
All right.
we
So what do
haven't
you?
had you taste anything yet.
What? Oh yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, make sure to have him lick something.
Exactly.
All right. What
Um,
do you guys do?
I was gonna have him taste the black goo, but you had it seep into the pavement before we could do that.
Do you know why I do that?
But oh, why?
Mhm.
It's to save time, because
Oh,
more often than not,
Let's take
yeah.
samples of the
let's
goo.
let's get
Let's run
samples
the
and have it
goo.
analyzed. And
Yeah.
really, you didn't intend for any of that.
Let's run to the magic
As
store.
a DM, you were just like, yeah, this thing's dead and it's turning into goo because that sounds cool, or
Yeah.
whatever. But there's always that one party. Oh no, let's get the copper out of its mouth.
Harvest.
Let's harvest this goo
Yeah.
liquid with magical properties, which you're assuming. And
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see what happens with the goo when I pee on it.
let's see what weapons we can make out of it. So yeah, it just sort of dissolved into the earth because of necessity.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I'm fine with our group winding down, and then I mean, do we say we're going to sleep and then let's head off to the east? Or is there anything we need to do here? I'm not saying let's end the session. I'm just saying, do we head to the east, or is there something anyone needs to do? I mean, if we're going to hang out tonight, Torka will probably go to the either the infirmary and pray over the the lost, or he'll go to the closest shrine of Morden and say some prayers. But there's nothing. I don't think I need any provisions or anything.
Well, I need to restock a potion of healing.
maybe a bad time for that.
I've got 3. I could give you one. I mean,
The lady that owns the potion stop did just lose her store.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Well,
I actually said that last session, I think.
Yeah. I didn't put that in the recap. I'm afraid.
put it up.
then that's right. I forgot that lady is
The
still
pretentious
gone.
coffee shop and the potion, the magic store.
Well, should we turn in and wake up early to head out?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. I'm sure that Stokel will stay up into the wee hours of the night, bearing his chest, singing his songs, wooing the ladies. I'm sure Stokel is proud or super happy that he has his own room tonight.
Well, it's
Whereas-
loud down there.
Whereas I had just said, hey, let's just bunk down. We got fighting to do, let's just, But no.
What time did we say it was?
It was 4 to 5 o'clock.
Right now, it's probably about. We'll say it's probably around 5 or 5:30.
Let's see. I'm trying to think. We'll just we'll wake when we wake up the next morning. We'll you know bang on Stokel's door. End up having to one of his lady friends actually has to answer the door because he won't come to it.
I just see a clown car. Like, just the door opens and just all these ladies are just shuffling out like a clown car. Just
Well,
when you
Loomis says
when you
to-
think that the 20th is the last one, 7 more come out.
Loomis says to Stokel, "What are you up for tonight? Do you want to drink and sing us songs?"
And Stokel just kind of shrugs because I'm not going to role play for Stokel. I thought I had established it earlier. So yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Cole just decides
I think
he's gonna go to bed.
Okay.
Cool.
27 somewhat midget-looking ladies.
27. All right. Well, I'm turning in, and there we go.
Yeah, Torka turns in after going to the infirmary for an hour or so, saying prayers upon those that are need their last rites.
Fortunately, no one was mortally wounded or killed. There were a couple of severe injuries, but it wasn't anything that the clerics there that run it, the infirmary is kind of like a makeshift infirmary slash poorhouse.
Okay.
And it's an Arcadium, so there's not a lot of poor people anyway. But yeah, what few casualties they had, they were able to take care of folks pretty well. But you do go in there and help ease the suffering and talk to people. Act as a counselor on behalf of Morden.
I will, where I see I can do any healing, I will. Where I see prayers will help, I will do those. And for the one poor person in Arcadia, I'll hand him a few silver pieces.
Wow, silver, whole pieces of silver.
Hey, now.
No, that's fine.
Can't just give a poor guy like 100 platinum and just, all of a sudden now he's the new mayor when we come back. And the whole town's gone
In
to
a week,
shit.
that money will be gone. He'll be an alcoholic and he'll have an STD. All
He'll
right.
have all the STDs.
Yeah.
It's like chasing Pokemons.
All right. So
Gotta catch them all.
Well, it's Loomis. It's a little early, so Loomis is not going to go to bed at 4 or 5. So he's going to go down and have 2 or 3 beers and smoke, and then go to bed.
all right.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, Loomis, you
While
kind
you're
of
off being a saint.
Hey, I got to where I lose my powers, brother.
Loomis, you go and you spend some time downstairs. There's some people in later on to drink. It's not a really busy night, but I mean there's a fairly good crowd. And so yeah, you go downstairs, have a few ales, smoke your pipe, and then head up to bed. Probably by the time you head to bed, it's probably around between 7 and 8. All right, so you guys get up in the next morning after a good night's rest, and we'll wait until Hendo gets back.
Cool. Let me hop away for a second as well too.
All right, yeah. If you need to get and pee, go now. In fact, I'm gonna go do that myself. I'll be right back.
All right. Me too.
I am back. Sorry, I didn't mean to start a whole thing.
I'm back.
I too am back.
Alrighty, I'm back.
I didn't mean to start a whole flood of bio breaking.
That's fine. I mean, everybody's got to go to the bathroom at some point.
Yes. Everybody was a bio breaking. I guess we're just missing Christopher Marcus' head.
Well, head and then I think Hagar went to the bathroom.
I'm here. I'm back.
Oh. Then yes, all we're missing is Chris' head.
I'm back. I'm back.
All right. So,
He-
you guys wake up the next morning, well rested. You've got all your hit points back,
Cool.
and so yeah, what would you like to do now? It's about we'll say you guys got up and ate breakfast. It's probably about 8:30, 9, somewhere around there.
Oof. I was
Cool.
trying to get these lollygaggers up and out the door, but my
All right. Well,
computer was-
what time do you want to leave? I mean, you guys, the last one of you that went to bed at like 7, so it's not like you guys are going to sleep all day.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
think we
so,
just get up and get on the road.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna.
just before daybreak.
Yep,
All right.
it's 7. We had a little.
Oh, aren't we gonna eat breakfast?
I did just say that you guys ate breakfast.
Oh,
You guys
okay.
woke
Yeah.
up with enough time to get breakfast and all that stuff. We don't have to role play that out. It's literally just you guys eating.
No, I like your descriptions. But okay.
My
Hagar
description.
lives for
I
your
was looking
ham
forward to the,
description.
Oh.
but okay.
Sorry.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. It's good. But yeah, you wake up in time to have breakfast and then get out. We'll say it's 7 a.m. Is that early enough for y'all?
Yeah.
Is
That
7
sounds fine.
is 7 okay? Go getters.
Yes, I want to
Go
get by
get 'em.
Stable Master Farnsworth.
Good
I
lord.
want to make this a good.
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at 7 o'clock.
Hey, we got 9 miles to get veiny pink crystal. 7 miles, sorry.
So, you make your way down to the west part of town to Farnsworth's Stable and Livery, and there's a sign on the door that says "Be back 9 a.m." No, I'm kidding. There's not.
Fuckers.
But yeah, you see that there's a few horses out in the corral, and yeah, you do see what looks to be an older wagon, kind of out front.
What's her name?
The wagon? I don't know.
Sorry.
It's a wagon.
Okay. Let's engage. Do we see who we think is Master Farnsworth?
There's an old man with a straw hat who's kind of pitchforking out hay to the horses, sort of on the
Okay.
side.
Let's ask him if I'll go engage him.
Okay. So you walk up to him, Torka. As you get closer to him, you see that this guy is very old. Very, very old. He's probably like in his mid 80s, late 80s, somewhere around there. He has seen
Okay.
many summers, Torka. But he moves with the quiet strength of someone who has worked the land and worked beasts all his life.
I'm in awe.
Like he's pitching this hay, the same way he would if he were 20 years old.
The same way his father's father's father did.
Probably. And he looks up, and you can see now as he looks up from underneath his straw hat, you see he's got a corncob pipe and one eye. And he kind of squints as he's looking at you. Goes, "Yeah, what can I do for you, fella?"
You must be Master Farnsworth.
Oh, I sure am.
I hear you have the finest stable in all of these lands.
Well, I've got the only stable in Arcadium, so sure, yeah, I guess you could say that.
Yeah, Torka kind of chuckles and says, "That's what I've heard too."
Well,
we'd love to be able to rent the wagon you've got out front for a day or two.
oh, what is it? What is it you're needing it for? How far out are you going?
Well,
What are you hauling?
we're actually only hauling ourselves. We're just tired adventurers, and we'd like to be able to ride a little and walk a little less. We think we're only headed about 7 to 8 miles east of town. We've got to go see an old wizard at a tower that lives there.
An old wizard. Oh, you're going out to Thumbermill's place.
We are, aye.
Thumbermill's tower.
Has anyone you know of gone there lately?
Not lately, no. And I've not heard anything. Gee, I hope old Thundermill is okay out there. We haven't seen him come into town for a while. Um,
Well, we have a little business to do with him, and at the same time, I think we're gonna. It'll be good to report back here to some of the old friends of Thumbermill. Let them know that he's okay.
well, I'll yeah, I'll let you take the couple of horses in the cart. The cart will need a couple of horses. Um, if you're going out to Thumbermill's place, I'll give you a break on the cost and say 50 gold for the to get there and back. But you have to do me a favor while you go out there.
Tell me, what are you looking for us to do there, Farnsworth?
Let me run to the shed right quick, and he hands you the pitchfork. While you see him kind of run off, like a crazy, janky old man, to the shed, and then he comes back out, followed by a garden hoe that is more or less carrying itself behind him. And he gets back to you, and then he puts his hand on the hoe, and he hands you over the hoe. This here is an animated hoe that I borrowed from Thumbermill a while back.
Why would you want an animated hoe? And why would you want to borrow one?
I mean, I think the
Does it
question
work?
sort of answers itself, doesn't it?
I'm not sure. I'm more of a miner and less of a.
Who wouldn't want an animated hoe?
I think most people
It,
could
it
use.
saves you a lot of backbreaking work.
Well, did you break your hoe?
No, I took good care of the hoe.
Oh, you just want us to return the hoe.
Yeah, I just want you to return the hoe to Thumbermill.
You've had enough of this hoe?
Well, I reckon I've done enough, or all that I set out to do with this hoe.
Well, it's like, you know, why would you want to get rid of a hoe that does all the work? I mean,
Seems like this hoe's working hard for you.
Because this hoe already worked hard for me and already did all the work I needed the hoe to do.
But do you really think he wants his hoe back?
Wouldn't you?
I don't
Especially,
know.
especially if especially if
taking
it
the
was an
hoe.
animated hoe.
If another man put that hoe to work as much as you put it to work, I don't think I'd want her back. It
That
back.
hoe has many holes left to dig.
Seems like that
oh
hoe
well.
has much work left to do.
It's an animated hoe. It's a magical thing. It's not mine. That's the big sticking
Okay.
point here, fellas. It's not mine. I'm
Well,
trying to I'm
I'll
trying
go
to give
take
a
this
hoe
hoe.
back to a friend.
Well,
I'll
we'll
take the
be
hoe and
happy
put
to take. We'll take that hoe, sure.
You could use the
here.
bottom
Here,
then to plant
I grab
seeds.
I'll grab the hoe and lay it in the back of the wagon.
You laid the hoe on its back?
I laid the hoe in the wagon.
On its back.
Face up or face
Yes.
down.
How are
So-
you presenting
Okay.
the hoe?
So yeah, if you could just ferry that hoe on out to Thumbermill for me when you go out to do whatever business you've got to do with him, Yeah, that's something I need doing.
We'll be happy to
Well,
transport that hoe of yours. Uh, I don't want to touch the hoe though, Soren. You got that right.
I've already taken the hoe, and there you go.
Oh, you took the hoe?
I took that hoe.
All right. Well, other than that, I guess I just need 50 gold up front.
Seeing as you took the hoe, Soren, maybe you should pay the man.
I think I'm a little broke.
Um,
Let's see.
I'll pay.
Um,
Loomis will pay.
all right, cool.
I mean, I guess okay. Just seems like the guy that takes the hoe should pay, but whatever.
Well, I watched him put the hoe in the back.
That's fair.
Fair.
So, in the time it's taking you guys to discuss
Lay a hoe in
hoes,
in the back of a wagon.
yeah, he's already got the horses hooked up, and they're pretty good draft animals. They're not too long in the tooth or anything. Looks like they could probably get you out there and back, maybe even in the same day.
Ooh, wow. All right.
So Torka is going to use his ability uh, to speak with animals.
Okay, before Torka does that, who is paying for it? Loomis?
I did.
All right, Loomis. So you pay over 50 gold, and all right. So yeah, what is it you're wanting to what is it you're wanting to ask the horses?
Nothing. I'm just using my ability to talk to them to just kind of soothe them, tell them we're great guys, everything's cool, you're gonna have
Why
a
don't you
good
tell them
trip.
where to go?
Oh yeah, and take us east, take us east to Gavin Thummerville's place.
And the horses are like, yeah, cool. Wait, who's Gavin Thumbermill?
Well, we'll lead you there, but I'm just telling you guys that we're really cool, and you're safe with us.
Torka, give me a persuasion check with advantage because you're talking their language. And your friends are watching you basically whinny and neigh to horses in a conversation. It's a combination of whinnying, neighing, making, deep bellowing sounds with your lungs and kicking at the ground. Oh my God,
Yes, there you
20.
go.
Yeah, so yeah, the horses seem to buy what you're selling, Torka. And the older horse warns you, watch out for that hoe, it's animated.
Mm.
Don't
And
worry.
I
I
reply to
secured
the
the hoe
horse.
in the
I've
back
heard a
of the
lot
wagon.
about this hoe. I'll be good. I'll be glad to get rid of that hoe. If she acts up though, I'll slap that hoe.
You can toss that hoe out on the road.
Mm.
No, we have to deliver that hoe to its rightful owner.
And Torka, the horse that said be careful of the hoe is looking at you and then looking back at the hoe and then looking back at you, and it's like, she?
Uh, that I sorry horse. I think it got lost in translation. My horse speak isn't great. I meant it.
Ah, all right, well,
My horse pronouns are off. I've not spoken with a lot of horses lately. I apologize.
it's not fine. We're not used to your big city ways.
Well, shall we on?
All right,
All
so
right,
what was that Chris said?
let's go. Yes.
All right, so you guys start heading east out of town. Where's my ruler? There we go. And the journey at least to where Clovis indicated on the map. You realize it's going to take you about an hour going through the forest because there's no path. It's just, you're literally taking a cart and trying to navigate through a forest, which is, trees everywhere. But yeah, you're able to get there. Well, actually, we'll say about an hour and a half. So by the time you get out there, it's about after you're dealing with Farnsworth and everything and talking to him. We'll say it's closer to 10 a.m. when you guys get out there. And give me just a second here.
And Torga kind of makes a big deal with his friends about how, getting up early. Look how much we've
Yeah.
achieved by 10 a.m.
That is amazing. It's really good.
I mean, some of us would sleep till 9 and eat a bunch of ham. We wouldn't even be on the road yet.
So,
yeah.
Good for us.
let's see here. I've got to find a wagon. Let me see if I can find one with horses on it. Close as I can come as a carriage. Don't nobody bitch.
Pretty good.
All right, so past the rocks up ahead, you can see now a tower, which is how it was described to you, that Gavin Thumbermill lived in a tower. But the tower looks fairly decrepit, like maybe no one's lived here in a while. It's, someone's definitely not taking care of it.
Ain't nobody checked on Gavin
How
in a
old-
while.
How old does that? Where's that hoe at?
It
Back of the cart.
in the back of the cart. That's where I laid it.
Loomis wants to look at it and see, like, does it look? How old does it look? Can you tell? Is it 10, 20, 30 years old? 5 years old?
Give me
It's
an
actually
intelligence
timeless.
check.
Oh, that's rough.
Way he picked it.
So,
Ooh.
16. It looks like, I don't know, maybe it's 10 years old.
Okay.
So you would guess it was probably, at least several years old when it was loaned to Farnsworth.
Guys, that hoe looks pretty well used. Like it's dug many holes. This place might have been at least 10 years since it was given to our buddy Master Farnsworth.
Mm.
We should tread
Well,
that.
does the damage look like just age or like battle scars?
You mean on the tower?
Yes.
It just looks like it hasn't been kept up, and maybe at some point, there was masonry repairs that needed to go down, and so some of the retaining wall has fallen down, has kind of crumbled, and a little bit of the tower at the base kind of looks like it's crumbled.
Torcas is just
Uh,
going to start walking up there.
Well,
if
Thorin, don't forget to
that's
grab that
okay.
hoe so you can take it to its owner.
sure. Well, I'll do that. And take hold of the hoe. And bring it with me.
So Torca, unless you tell me to stop, Trey, just wants to get up into this area
Okay.
and just yell, yell out. I mean, uh, it doesn't seem like any other reason to just, get up there and Master Thumbermill.
So Torka, you yell out. Give me a perception check.
Sweet. Okay. Yeah, not my best.
Yeah, you just sort of hear your own voice kind of echo throughout the forest clearing out here. But you definitely don't hear any kind of response or anything.
Okay. Who's with me? Loomis is with me. I'm gonna kind of be like, you see a front door? Should we go knock on that?
Sure. Then Loomis was gonna, hello, anybody home as well.
Okay, Loomis, same thing. You yell out. You don't hear any kind of response. Loomis, give me a perception check. 13. You don't hear anything.
I'll go ahead and take flight.
There you go.
All right.
Our eyes in the sky.
And I'll fly 30 feet up into the air and see if I can see anything in our surrounding area.
All right. Give me a perception check, Soren.
One perception check. Come right up. Perception, not persuasion.
So, Soren, you don't see anything standing out or anything obvious. Up to the north and off a little bit to the east, every now and then you see some movement through the trees, but you don't see anything big enough that registers on your eyes. You assume it's probably like small critters or something like that.
Okay. I'll fly up a little bit higher and make my way
What's a little
towards
bit
surrounding.
higher?
I'll go up 60 feet or 50 feet. And
So
then
you're
make my
now at
way.
80?
No. I'll just do 50. And I'll fly over and then keep an eye on those two areas a little bit, just because they kind of worry me.
Okay. Torkel, Loomis, you see the shadow of Soren down on the ground.
Okay.
You look up. What's that in the sky? Is it a bird? It's a plane.
It's a dragon.
Oh, just
Yes,
Soren.
it's Super Soren.
It's just little old underdog.
Super Soren, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men.
And
Uh,
but instead cast a fireball on everyone.
But instead killed his friends. All right. Cole goes ahead and gets off too, just because he figures might as well move up with the rest of his friends. Torka, you had asked about a front door. There is a door in the center of the tower on the first level.
Okay.
It looks closed, and it doesn't appear to be locked from the outside, like with a padlock or anything. But there is you do definitely see where there's a keyhole in the
Well,
door.
Torka's gonna look at his buddies and be like, y'all may want to step back or stay back a little, but I'm gonna go and knock on the door.
Oh,
I'll,
I'm coming with you, buddy.
I'm flying over, just providing air cover, make sure there's anything like at the parapet or out in these trees.
You don't see anything on the parapet or the top of the tower, or anything out in the trees. At least not right now.
I do knock on the door.
Torka, you knock on the door, and the door to the tower slowly creaks open. On its own accord.
Torka's gonna kind of stick his face in there and, hello.
So
Hello?
as you stick your head in there, give
Gavin.
me another perception check.
Mr. Gavin.
Mr. Man.
Mr. Man. Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
Mr.
Loomis is
Man.
right behind him, looking in there too.
Okay,
Listening.
Loomis, you can give me a perception check as well.
Okay. Okay. Blowing on the dice.
All right, so Loomis, as you look in, you see on the far wall there's a bed with with sheets and a blanket drawn up over a very still form with wispy hair.
Ah, Torka, look over there. On the far wall. There's a bed with a figure in it.
Yeah,
Oh,
Torka, you're not sure how you didn't see that.
how did I miss that?
Isn't
It's
that
like
right
you
there
rolled
in
a one
front
or
of
something.
With my
you?
night vision, how did I miss that?
Does it is there any motion like breathing, or is it just like still?
Can't tell from that far back.
Okay.
I'm gonna head that way, Loomis.
Is it
Cover
dark in
me.
there?
It is dark.
Okay, I'll light a torch
All right.
as he walks in.
All right.
Technically,
Well,
I
why
can
come
see
on.
in the dark, so I'm super happy I didn't see that.
Soren and Cole, you see Loomis and Torka enter the tower.
And I'll just go ahead and just kind of patrol around.
Okay.
While
I
they
hold the
look
torch
around.
up high to, you know, lighten up the body or the person.
I'm going to have Cole come up here in the doorway. And Loomis, as you shine your torch over towards the bed, you do see that the form on the bed has its back to the door, aka you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to tell. There's definitely no movement of any kind that you can see from the back, though.
I nudge it with the top part of my great axe gently.
So you nudge it gently with your giant axe, and you're alarmed when the head falls off
Oh no, it must be Master Thumbermill.
and clatters down to the floor, scaring some mice that had been under the bed, and they scurry across the floor.
Hmm.
Yep, about 10 years.
And Torka and Loomis, that's what you see inside. Cole is looking inside, and that's what he sees. And Soren, outside where you are, you see shadows coalescing to the north and to the southeast of where you are. And you see three large forms come into view now. And these things are large, ogre sized monstrosities that are clearly undead, but they're undead that seem to wear shadow like clothing. But the most ghastly feature about these things, Soren, is their claws.
Oof.
The claws that end on their very, very long forearms. Or not forearms, but arms.
Mm.
And
How tall are these things?
they're ogre size, so they're between
10,
eight,
12 feet.
about 8 and 10 feet tall.
Okay.
Ah, all right.
Those look like they can do some slashing damage.
Loomis, you can't see them.
Yeah.
You're inside a
Okay.
tower.
That was out of character.
um,
Gosh, those are scary.
I will. Uh, let's see. 1 second. Let me take a look at this. Trying to think of the best way of trying to alert my fellows.
Soren,
I'm
while you're trying to
yeah.
figure out a way to alert your fellows, one of them raises its arm up in your direction, and we're going to end it there for tonight, since it's
Okay.
already 9:41, and we cannot get through this encounter before
Yeah.
I would have to go to bed. So
Yeah. I think.
we will pick this up after Christmas.
Yay.
So this
Yeah.
is Christmas.
And we
Christmas.
will see what we find.
We almost died.
What are
Well,
those things called?
These
Bone claw.
these things are called bone claws, but
Okay.
I'll save you some trouble before you run off and read up on their stats. They're not exactly as they appear off in the stat books. I think they were in Mordenkainen's tome. So when you go to Google and you put in bone claw to try to find its stats, don't be surprised when that's not what happens.
Oh,
By the
no, I
way,
just was curious what it's
Wait.
called.
How do you spell that? Just kidding.
oh, by the way, before we let go,
Boner.
Cole licks the skull to find out how
No,
long.
I came
body
here.
was
I came here pre-lick right at the end,
No,
so I
no,
could
no,
take
no.
agency.
Well,
Oh, hey,
we
somebody mute.
hang
Somebody
on.
mute Cole.
No, we're not going to mute Cole because we did call the end of the session and nobody had said, "Oh, he licks this." You didn't say anything until he came on to say, "Oh, I take my animus back. I lick nothing." No, he gets to do that because none of you remember to have him lick something. I even gave you a reminder like midway.
Oh yeah.
He did. We could have had him lick the wagon wheel or something.
Yeah. Some old chewing gum underneath the dining table, you know.
Or the hoe. He could have licked the hoe.
You gotta lick the hoe.
That hoe has seen a lot of miles.
Yeah, this was a
Wait,
missed opportunity to
she?
have.
Boy, that hoe tasted salty.
Okay, this is a good place to end it. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So
There
we'll
were
see.
some great lines in that sequence.
Yeah, we'll see you guys after Christmas. Have a good Christmas, everybody.
I have a feeling
Night,
that
everybody.